Legend, a story coming down from the past, especially one popularly regarded as historical, although not verifiable. Welcome to Granite Peaks, my contest park for Finalizing's contest on the Module 7 Discord. I think you're going to love this park, and today we're going to solve a very specific problem we have in the park, which is the need for a wooden coaster to fill a large space. And when out of consideration for the rest of the park, I thought about where to put this coaster. This was the spot here. And so I embarked upon my mission to create a legend. First, I started to think about how did I want to lay the station into the landscape. So I realized pretty quickly I wasn't going to be able to do it right behind the Hellion Ring here, but also I knew that I wanted, prior to the lift hill, some kind of activity, not just right out of the station into the lift hill. My initial concept was something that Reach had done recently in Smith's Grove, and that was to have a two-stage lift hill with a speed variation. So you start out climbing up onto the lift hill nice and slow, and then catch and start speeding up much faster. I think I watched these carts explode a little bit too long, but I digress. So then I started to kind of imagine myself, I need to turn the coaster around now without, breaking physics. And then I know that guests get bored quickly, and the drama and the thrills is here. You kind of have an overview of the park, and the lake is to your left, and I thought, let's drop it right here. Pick up an insane amount of speed going forward, and then I have to clear the lift hill up ahead, but I think I did a pretty good job there. I mean, it's close, but it's cleared. And I didn't want to give anybody whiplash or anything, so I didn't want too harsh of a turn here. And then, of course, you don't want it to get any kind of boring, so you start right back in with the bunny hills with the wooden coasters. Then here, I started to get bored with the idea of continuing that. My ADHD does that. And at first, I was going to actually end the coaster. And then right at the last second, I thought, no, let's continue to push this coaster around in the landscape here. Let's give the riders a reason to have, probably spent 25 to 30 minutes in line. And if it's a ticket-based park, probably $5 or $6 in tickets to ride this. So I really wanted to give the guest a little bit more bang for their buck. To all you coaster realists out there, I was very carefully considering each element in regards to what I needed the coaster to do, but at the same time, not hurting the peeps that are going to be on board. I do have kind of a goal here to end up green across the board, and I'm going to actually show my process to how I got there. This step here is actually really interesting. It dawned on me right about there that I don't have to stay on one side of them car tracks, I can build the coaster on both sides as long as I clear the buses. It should be no issue, and I don't think that turnaround could have really been any higher, I don't think. So here I started to watch the carts and how they interact. There is a bit of a slowdown section back there that later on you're going to see does affect the happiness of guests on board and the excitement and all that, so I have to adjust it. But here I start doing my smoothing routines, and I start working the harshness and the jank out of the coaster itself so that it's nice and smooth when we go to ride it in the POV. And then here, I give you a nice, fast 3x POV on part of the ride. Spoiler alert, it does just sort of abruptly end, and we all die. But we have fun on the way out. Right there, the tree branches would have done it. So, we're going to head into the brake run now, which I know seems a little bit backwards, but it is one of those situations where I like to have that brake run lined up. And then for whatever reason, because I think I'm actually might be mildly psychotic, I decided to just continue to make this roller coaster play with the landscape around it and the rides that are positioned nearby. And yeah, that makes for a cool kind of finale to the ride. It certainly did not take away any of the effort that was required. Then, what fun, autocomplete, which would have made this last part of the coaster a little less painful, decides there's objects in the way, I am not going to autocomplete. So, I had to keep building and building until autocomplete would catch. And then, of course, when I did smoothing, it shrank that down to nice and tight and completely unacceptable. So I will have to redesign that ending. But here I am checking the bus's clearance levels, and everything checks out. Lovely, right? Lovely, lovely. Now making some adjustments here to as far as the different parameters of the ride go, the friction, all kinds of other stuff like that. We're going to transition here over to adjusting for the conditions. So I set the heat map to fear, and I was looking for where the guests were experiencing the highest level of fear. You'll see my stats are all red across the board there, and I'm going to kind of detail how I get them to the green level. First, I start with my fear. Now, I note that there's a lot of places here where the fear is intense, darker red, and then where it's orangish red, that's places where the particularly boring part of the ride, or a section that's just not, it's like the anti-fear. It's not excitement, and it's kind of the anti-fear. Then I realized this last section would never do, so I needed to kind of push it all the way out to how I wanted it, and again, shrink it, of course, which sucks. I hate that so much. So I kept pushing, here, move this here, move that there, and I think at the end here I got a nice shape. I think it's a shape that I really enjoy. It's a nice ending. I do have to shave some speed off going into that. Of course, it's a little fast. It is on 3x, but that's still a little, you kind of whip into there a little bit. Now I'm going to take a long look at excitement and see where I can enhance stuff. Now that tire lift hill, no good, dog water. It's not going to keep guests entertained in any way and leading up to it. And that's a significant chunk of track. There's actually very little track that is green. You'll notice from that brief moment, green was on every other stat and red wasn't. And that's because I changed that ending. That ending was literally one of the worst problems. Here again, I'm going to note poopy. It's terrible, that whole red section. So I need to make some adjustments to friction, which is going to allow the coaster to go a little bit further, a little bit faster. And then I did get a green there on my excitement and everything, but I'm going to try to do a little bit better. I want to make this beginning part more interesting, so I have the cart kind of rock to the right and then rock to the left as it kind of bounces up and down and then heads into the lift hill. And here I really tried to improve that drop to no avail. And I'm not exactly sure how I feel overall about the layout at that point, but I started to look at it from is it smooth? Does it work? Is there any head clipping? Is there any kind of sudden jerking? Is it really janky anywhere? And the answer is no. I genuinely feel like it's a decent coaster. It's got nice stats. And what I'm going to show you now, I'm checking clearance here on this ride. But then also I'm just going to show you my landscaping all around the area. So I know that I wanted to make it kind of natural, and I wanted to fit in. So I do some light landscaping here, add some foliage, and apply some ground paint. And that's essentially just the meat and potatoes of it. This area I know is one that over time will mature. I tend to layer in my efforts to enhance an area in the park. It kind of happens in one big burst like this. And then over time, I'll pick and poke at it as time goes by, moving things, adjusting things, you know. Anywhere where I see it looks a little boring, you know, I'll add something interesting there. And of course, buildings will be coming through and all kinds of other neat things like that. With this park, I am going to be doing a lot more coasters. I think I have a goal in mind with these coasters. I'm not going to say because I don't want to spoil it, but I do have a goal in mind, and it's pretty nuts. It's pretty nuts. But I kind of want the park to have a thing, and I think that thing should probably be lots and lots of coasters. But yeah, I'm going to wrap up all this terrain around here, and I want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the cinematics and a lovely POV of this amazing coaster, which hopefully will be a legend. In any event, I'm going to name it Legend.
Bare feet on cold floor. Morning light cuts through the blinds. Coffee stain on last year's plans. Yeah, I've been stuck in my own mind. Same street, same small talk. Maybe someday on repeat. Got 1,000 almost starts and none of them feel complete.
So I'm reaching up, hands in the sky.
Fingerprints on the edge of a life.
I can feel the pull, fear in my eyes.
But I'm done staying low, watching days pass by. If my heart was made to climb, I'm gonna find my true high.
Reaching up
for my true potential in the sky. In the sky. Oh, doubts like heavy coats hanging by the doorway still. I used to wear them every day. Now they only give me chills. Oh, friends say you dream too loud. I say just watch me try. If I fall, I